Hello and welcome to this special episode of the Sausage Factory. We are concluding our tribute to horror master Tobe Hooper by watching and discussing his 1986. To me, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece sequel to a masterpiece. Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. I'm your moderator Pizzal. Joining me tonight, I have got Rambo Raff. How you doing, Rambo?
Doing good. Just having some fun here. Something different.
What are we drinking tonight there, Rambo?
Rockstar Boom Energy Drink Whipped Strawberry.
Wow.
Ooh, the whipped. Okay.
Whipped strawberry.
Well,
So
that sounds pretty good.
it's really good. I mean, it looks like someone came in it, but it tastes really good. If this is how it tastes like, I'd be gay, but this is really good. Whipped strawberry. It tastes like whipped strawberry cream. It's really good. I don't drink much energy drinks, but usually because they taste the same. Like, what was that fucking one? The famous one.
Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is nothing like that. It's like a strong whipped blended strawberry cream. So it's really good.
Not a big fan of Red Bull. Now, Jaeger bombs, I can drink those, but I gotta have Jaeger in my Red Bull. And just drink it straight.
Red Bull, it just tastes like nothing or something.
Yeah,
like
it's got
styrofoam or something.
Yeah, it's got a weird.
It's really expensive too. It's like $3 for one of those little 12-ounce.
Seems like all the energy drinks are pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was like $2, but you know what? It's worth it. It's good taste.
Cool. Also with me tonight's Jay the Stingray. Stingray, what's up?
What's happening, fellas?
What we drinking on tonight in your enormous Michigan State mug?
This is some Starbucks Italian blend.
Ah, nice. Bravo.
Not
Bravissimo.
Not bad.
Bravissimo.
Barissimo.
Also joining me tonight is the Professor B-Movie Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Hi, what's up, guys? I hope everybody had a great Halloween. Suffering from a bit of the post-Halloween depression, which always hits me this time of year. It's always sad to see it go, but hopefully next year, with the new Halloween film, hopefully it's good. And I'm holding out hope here, guys. Come on. I didn't watch any Halloween films this year. I watched other scary films, but I'm saving it all for next year. Next year is going to be the year of Halloween, and I hope it lives up to it.
Nice. Well, at the very least, we'll have a lot to talk about this time next year with the new Halloween out. Well, I'm sure we probably have an entire episode just devoted to the new Halloween.
So, even though I don't expect much, I'm holding out hope that it's at least going to be good.
I think it's going to be good. I'm going to throw that out there now. I think it's going to be good.
I just think it'll be great to see Josh Hartnett, doing something again.
What? He's not. Is he? No. Zac Efron. Zac Efron is apparently.
Zac Efron. Okay.
I'm guessing playing her son
she has a daughter this time, I think.
Totally disregard.
Back to a daughter now. Okay.
She does have a daughter. Judy Greer is the daughter, and Zac Efron is playing something in it. I assumed maybe a son
and James Franco.
He's actually in it. No.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what that was the big rumor.
But when you got Danny McBride, who are his buddies? I'm surprised Seth Rogen doesn't pop up as Michael Myers. You know what I mean? I'm afraid.
Were you serious about James Franco? Is he going to be in it?
I heard it. That's what I read. Maybe it was just a rumor because I read that James Franco was on set or something.
Okay.
He was in Alien Covenant too, but if you blinked, you would have missed him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yep, he was. I forgot. Yep, I forgot.
He'll be Joseph Gordon-Levitt, H2O.
Yeah, he was in it so briefly. Yeah, I'd completely forgot he was even in that. So. Yeah. Odd. Yeah. But we've got some good news and some bad news for you guys tonight. The good news is Orc had a successful surgery, and he is recovering nicely. He is still in the hospital, though. I think he's going to be in the hospital for at least the next couple of weeks. So keep sending those dank thoughts and dank dreams and dank memes Orc's way. and wish him a speedy recovery. So we're glad to hear that Orc is doing well. Unfortunately, he is in a hospital room. I believe he said his TV only gets 40 channels. It's like the basic direct TV package, and that his arms are very, very sore from holding his tablet all day long. So, yeah. I did consider sending him like a stripogram or something today, just to, just to brighten his spirits. But
Right.
yeah. So Orc,
Hopefully we'll get a nurse to sit on his face.
well, I can,
Could see donations, pay off a nurse,
there you go. Send those donations to the
sit on
Sausage
his
Factory.
face.
But yeah, so the good news is Orc is recovering, a very successful surgery. The bad news is because he's not here tonight, he is fired. There's no excuses. I don't care what the excuse is. He's missed 2 shows in a row. He's gone. He's done. So Orc, if you're watching this on your tablet, you better get here immediately or you are fired. Okay? So that's just the way we roll here. We're serious here. I'm drinking some Old Smoky moonshine tonight to enjoy the film with, and I don't know what's going to happen here shortly. So,
Does that have fruit in the bottom?
it is no fruit in the bottom.
Okay.
But actually, I'm going to tear it open right now, and I'm going to take a sip.
I've been wanting to try some of that stuff. I've seen some that have cherries at the bottom and strawberries.
Oh my God, Gatorade!
You're about to get crunk, son.
Ooh, Lordy. It kind of tastes like Gatorade, like with a little bit of fire. So I can feel it flowing through me right now, baby.
So it's a Powerade.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't drink too much of that stuff. We could end up with a naked pizzo.
What?
That would not be ad friendly, I assure you. That would not be ad friendly. But yeah, well, speaking of Halloween, we just had Halloween. And B Movie Mike is in the post Halloween depression. How was your guys' Halloween? Did you watch any specific movies on Halloween night or do anything special? Egg houses, toilet paper houses, anything like that?
I'm a little too old to be egging houses, I think.
Nothing too
I'm
much.
not too old to do that. I'm just too old to run away.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be really pathetic.
Watched a couple.
Maybe when I'm like nursing home age and the comedic value is worth it. But until then,
There you go.
Play some Benny Hill music in the background.
What were you going to say, Rambo?
No, I'm just saying, watch a couple movies, not much. One called Population Zero, which is it's not found footage. It's more a fake documentary, and it's not a horror film. It's like a crime movie about these 3 kids killed in Yellowstone National Park, and a fictional documentary on them. The interesting part is there's a part of the movie that I looked up is actually true, which was even creepier, which was part of the reason why they made this fake documentary. It's not the main story. Have you heard of the murder zone in Yellowstone?
Oh yeah, where murder is legal, like you can't be persecuted for prosecuted for murder.
Like the guy who murdered the kids, he murdered them there, and that's why he got out free. And that's not what the main story's about, but they do explain what that loophole is. And I didn't know about that until I saw that.
Oh wow!
And I mean, it's a fictional documentary, but it's very well made. Like if I didn't know it was fake, I would have thought it was real. But yeah, I didn't know about that murder zone, and that's pretty damn creepy. For those who don't know, in Yellowstone, there's a 50-mile area that if you murder someone, you could get away with it, and you can't be arrested. Because Wyoming and Idaho, the kind of blending of the 2 states. So technically, you did it on Idaho, but you need like a jury from that Idaho area. But since no one lives there, you can't. So technically, you could get away with it because there'd be no jury from that local area because no one lives in that area. It's like this weird federal. And they've tried. Someone said, "Why don't they change it?" They haven't changed it for any reason. And someone wrote an article like 5-6 years ago about it first, and it's to this day. There's a small 50-mile area in Yellowstone. You could murder someone and get away with it. And that I didn't know about that, and that was the fascinating but the creepiest thing. So,
In a situation like that, you think they would make it federal jurisdiction, right? So you wouldn't have to depend on a state, because isn't Yellowstone like
it's like 3
federal
states.
land?
Yeah, it's federal jurisdiction, which would be in a certain manner, but because when Yellowstone came to be, it was before certain points, and then it's like more than one state in the area, and just it's like it's federal jurisdiction, but then like 2 different states blending together, and yet it's
Wow, that's crazy.
like they explain it better than I could, but it's because of that uninhabited 50 square mile portion. It falls outside the Wyoming state lines.
Was that where Dick Cheney liked to go hunting all the time?
I wouldn't
Makes
be
sense.
surprised.
That sounds
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I may have to look into that. I would say population 0.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a good thing to exist.
No.
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 No
Hey.
good can come of that.
Hey, wife, let's go take a trip over here to Yellowstone.
Boy, Mike, you go camping a lot. Yeah, well, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go with a party of people and you always come back alone.
These hookers are going to kill themselves. Come on.
What about you, Stingray? What'd you do Halloween night? Any movies? Any shenanigans? Any tricks or treats?
Yeah, I ate some treats for sure, but I watched Without Warning, and I watched the new Rawhead Rex.
Without warning,
how's
it's more Jack Lance in it.
Yeah,
I like that.
that new Rawhead Rex Blu-ray?
it looks great. The movie's not that great, but it looks fantastic.
Yeah, the movie's
The
not
movie-
great, but
The movie is, I like it, but yeah.
I hadn't seen it since I was quite young, so it's
But you also-
I probably shouldn't have been, but I was laughing out loud at the scene when Rawhead was pissing on the priest.
yeah.
Oh,
I
that was
laughed
great.
hard at that. I laughed very hard.
yeah.
So I enjoy it for different reasons. It's just so cheesy and over the top that
Man,
I-
I need
I-
to see this movie then.
Are there
Based
any
on a priest.
Are there any extras on it?
Yeah, it's loaded.
Oh, really? Like what?
There's a commentary. There's interviews with all the actors. There's nothing from Clive Barker on there. Not surprising.
Yeah, well, yeah, not surprising. Yeah,
And there's quite a few extras on there, though.
I'd love to hear him talk about it. I'd love to hear him talk about it, though. I think that'd be really.
Well, wasn't that the
Interesting.
movie that inspired him to direct Hellraiser?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I heard.
What about you, Mike? Did you watch any movies on Halloween nights?
Well, I had to work, but I managed to squeeze in. All weekend was double XP weekend on Friday the 13th, the game. So I was playing quite a bit of that on the Xbox, or the trash box, as you call it. Had some fun. Believe it or not, the car is even harder to drive on the Xbox than it is PS4. It's like,
Wow.
holy shit. That was an eye opener. I watched Dawn of the Dead again. I don't know, for some reason I just wanted to. We just watched it and talked about it, but I watched it again. I like the flick. What can I say? And I took in a viewing of something I haven't seen in a long time, and that's Exorcist 3: Legion.
Oh,
And it's been a long time since I saw that flick, and I really enjoyed it. I think I enjoyed it more this time than I did the previous time I watched it.
yeah. Did you watch the Blu-ray, the Scream Factory Blu-ray?
No, I watched it on Vudu.
Okay.
I don't know what version it was, but whatever version they have.
Well, if it was the Legion version, then that means it was the Blatty director's cut.
Okay, it was good. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
No jump scares, old school. It's the dread, it's the build, and I like how George C. Scott thinks he's hunting this guy, but when that guy's actually making it so that he can come to him, and the cat and mouse. And I just really enjoyed it. It's great. Dorif is awesome.
Mhm.
George C. Scott, of course. Good stuff.
Yeah, great cast, great. I mean, like you said, just old school, building atmosphere, the dread. I mean, that's yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. I watched Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon with my girlfriend. Ate some candy, tried to talk her into watching Halloween 3, but she was like, "Meh."
Oh man,
So
that's a good one for Halloween.
yep, that's a good one for Halloween. So
I think they'll be this. They're doing a collector's edition of that, Behind the Mask.
yeah, that's right. Yep, that's right. I think I heard about that today, or yesterday, as a matter of fact. Yep, Scream Factory. Yep.
Are they not doing a sequel to that? I've heard about talks of a sequel forever.
They've been trying to get one forever, and I don't know.
I
So
know Jigsaw.
oh yeah,
You mentioned that.
That's what Jigsaw last night, yeah.
How was
surprisingly
Jigsaw?
enough, I forgot about it. I give it a resounding meh.
Uh-huh.
Meh. The whole time I was thinking about like 10 years ago, Dead Pit was talking about them making another Saw movie. They were like, now he's got a USB drive in his dick hole, and they're pulling that out, and they kept saying stuff like that, and I was like, what the hell? Because he's back. The same dude who's supposed to have been dead for the past 5 movies is back again. So
yeah, I heard that. Like, how did they even explain? How did they explain that? I mean, I heard the movie's absolutely ridiculous to the point of just being laughable. Like, you can't even remotely take it seriously.
I heard it's a prequel.
well, that's a pretty big spoiler, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like the concept of the first film. A guy dying of cancer gets pissed off at people that don't appreciate the life that they have in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of a neat concept, but did it need to? It wasn't strong enough to go this long, and now a prequel. I don't know.
Yeah.
So the first film I give a pass. Everything after that is,
Everything after that, it all bleeds together for me. Like, I really liked the first one, but everyone since then, it's like, they all look exactly the same. They all look like they've been like, the Instagram urine filter, and you know what I mean? It's like, just, they all look the same. They're all just, I don't know. I can't tell apart.
The Sprouse brothers did this one.
Uh,
I think that's their name. The Brothers Strauss, they used to be known as. They did like Daybreakers, and they did that. It's a really good Australian horror film, The Undead. So
okay.
that's
Yeah,
the main reason I wanted to
about.
go see it. I like those guys a lot. So
Okay. Is it the Sperrig brothers
Sperrig, that's
or
right.
something like that? Yeah. Okay.
how long before they were the Sperrig sibling?
But yep, Halloween is behind us again, and now we can look forward to Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and and then the holiday season.
The mother of all holidays.
So
Looking forward to some Christmas horror.
I'm going to keep this
Oh, yeah,
horror
look-
train rolling, man. I'm watching horror movies all year long.
yeah, me too.
I'm
Pretty
not
much what I
gonna
do
get
anyway, so
Yeah.
not much of an excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have to
Yeah,
stop it because it's not October.
Hell no.
but I mean, we've got the new Silent Night, Deadly Night Blu-ray coming out. So I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to that. We've got oh gosh, what's that? There's one coming out theatrically. You Better Watch Out, which I've heard good things about that. So yeah, I mean, we've got some holiday horror to look forward to.
Boo 2 is out. Go check that
Boo
out.
2 is out. It's making good money. So I mean,
Maybe Tyler Perry could buy another island.
well, let's.
Fuck Tyler Perry.
But yeah, Boo 2 is tearing it up at the box office, man. Tyler Perry's.
No idea why.
When's that Del Toro
don't
movie
get
come
it.
out?
Oh, The Weight of Water, that comes out in December too, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that too. That looks really good.
I mean, I'm
Really
going to
good.
force myself to see the new Star Wars, but that one I'm actually looking forward to.
The new Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm going to force myself to go to that one.
So you're looking forward to it?
No. I'm looking forward to the Del Toro film.
Okay.
I'm not looking forward to forcing myself to go to Star Wars. And there's 2 this month. I'm thinking about maybe Ragnarok and what's the other one? Oh, Justice League. I don't know.
Justice League.
Uh,
I'm sure I'll end up watching Justice League. My brother wants to go watch Justice League, so we'll go watch that. I've kind of steered away from all the new trailers and stuff for it. So I mean, I don't really know what's going on in it. I know what's his name, Steppenwolf is the villain, but beyond that, I mean, I don't know.
The band Steppenwolf.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
at least the soundtrack will be good.
There you go. Yeah. So, but yeah, I really know very little about that movie going into it. So, but
I'm just always shocked at how fast they've got production going on those things. Like, whoa, they just came out with Superman and Wonder Woman, and now they've already got a Justice League movie out.
Mm-hmm.
It's man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I guess we've seen what that means. That they're generally not good movies, but
that's why some actors don't like to get involved in these franchises, because you're pretty much giving up 5 to 10 years of your life.
Yep.
To this one series of films, and that's a huge chunk of your career if you're an actor. And youth is everything when you're an actor, and you spend that 10 years. What's going to be left at the end? So you're going to want to get paid. So yeah, it's kind of tricky when you do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, let me give a shout out to some folks watching with us tonight. And all you guys watching, let us know what you did for Halloween. What movies did you watch? What kind of shenanigans did you get into? Did you get into any tricks or treats? Let us know. But Joseph Perdue's watching with us tonight. Stone Gassman. Chris Wynn's watching with us tonight. Looks like Cole's in the chat at least. So he's here in chat form only tonight. Let's see, who else have we got? We've got Josh O'Brien watching with us tonight. DJ Capone TX, Charlie Varick. Hope you guys are having a good night. Hope you guys had a great Halloween.
Don't go to Yellowstone.
Don't go to Yellowstone. Don't go to Yellowstone.
Don't
Well,
go.
don't
You
go to
get
Yellowstone
murdered.
with anybody that's pissed off at you.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Make sure it's people that like you.
But speaking of holiday horrors, I am really excited to be meeting the Caldwell brothers this weekend at Horror Hound in Columbus. Both Caldwell brothers will be there from Silent Night, Deadly Night and Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. So I'm excited about that. That's going to be fun. So looking forward to that and the Friday the 13th Part 5 reunion. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that panel discussion too. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talk about Danny Steinman, and if not, I'll bring it up. I'll be okay. So, how much blow were you guys sucking down your noses making this movie? So, it'll be fun.
The Colwells will they be separate or will they actually be together?
Oh, they'll probably have them right together. I'm guessing right next door to one another. And you can have a photo op with both of them in Santa suits and what have you. So I do know for a fact that Eric Freeman will be signing. He'll have his own personalized little garbage cans that he will be signing. So how freaking cool is that? Oh goodness! Well, before this moonshine turns me into a slobbering wreck, let's go ahead and dive into Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. What do you say? I'm watching the Scream Factory Blu-ray. What are you guys watching?
The same.
It's okay.
Watching this one.
what is that? Lionsgate?
That's the DVD. Okay.
No, it's Blu-ray.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I'm
It's,
sorry. That's the reverse. I'm sorry. Yep, you're correct.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I hate that cover art. It looks so generic. It looks like one
Yeah,
of the
it's-
remakes.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Oh wait, that's not the Scream Factory one, is it?
No, it's
No,
the
no.
Lionsgate.
It's the Lionsgate.
The older Blu-ray.
The
Okay.
I
older
want to
one.
see Dennis Hopper dual wielding chainsaws on the cover. That's what needs to be.
Exactly. Let's
I'm
see.
watching it on Amazon Prime, by the way.
Okay, cool. I actually thought about popping in the really cool Arrow release, but then I was like, just let's keep it simple tonight. Let's do the Scream Factory. Let me get mine all queued up here.
Which one has the better transfer?
Gosh, I don't know. They both look really good. I can tell you they both look really good. I've not side by side them, but they both look really good.
That generally seems to be the case with those two.
Yeah.
They both put out great stuff.
For you guys who are watching along with us at home, I don't know how we're going to sync up here. We've got different ones, but let's try and go to the closest to like 0.00 at the very beginning of the film as we possibly can. And
Mine immediately goes into the
Metro Goldwyn Mayer thing.
yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
I've got it at 0.
I'm getting the Lionsgate logo popping up first.
Let's see.
Go to just before.
I got the
the
20th Century Fox coming up first.
Paramount, I'm sorry. And we got a lot of studios
Paramount.
involved in this, don't we?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Paramount! I had no idea Paramount was involved in.
Now
that one.
Canon. The Canon logo is coming up now.
There we go. Let's try and get it to like I don't know how we're gonna I think we're never totally in sync watching these.
We make it just start at the Canon logo if you want, because it looks like that's the difference.
Okay, why don't we try and start the Canon logo?
Like
So if you're watching along
when it starts, when the
yeah.
Canon logos, okay.
Yeah, let's try and get it as close to when the Canon logo starts as possible. So if you guys are watching along with us, get to the Canon logo and press pause. Stone Gassman says, I will always love Denny Steinman for Savage Streets, although I like Friday 5 too. Savage Streets is great, man. I love Savage Streets.
Oh, totally.
I didn't see the one he did before, the baby one.
I've seen it. I only saw it once. It's not bad. He actually had his name taken off of the movie because they went in and did some editing work behind his back. It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
All right. I'm at the Canon logo.
All right.
Cole wants you to use the Force, Mike. You use the Force when you go to watch the new Star Wars movie.
I'll need to hold my ass in the seat.
Use the smoke.
All right, are we ready?
I think we're ready.
All right, we'll count down in 3, 2, 1. Chainsaw. That Canon logo just means quality.
Good
time.
time.
That Canon logo,
Definitely.
you know there's a good time ahead. You know what I mean?
I've seen a lot of people
Yeah.
with that tattooed on their body somewhere. I don't think I love it that much.
I don't think I love anything enough to have it permanently inked onto my flesh. How many tats you got, Mike?
3.
Okay. What do you got?
I have a band logo, some bats coming out of a cave, and a Grim Reaper.
Okay.
I thought you were going to say like some bats coming out of my asshole or something like that.
No.
This little crawl here is funny. The guy's voice. This was definitely not Thunderthroat doing this. Mike, they should have got you to do this little crawl here.
John Larroquette, wasn't it, in the first one?
John,
Yeah.
look, yep.
Yep.
This is a guy that did trailers. Like he was the voiceover of the trailer from Monty Shines and some other trailers. Some random guy they got.
It seems to have no end.
Golden Globus.
To be not or not to be Hooper.
Don't you know those Golden Globus guys probably got some sexual harassment suits against them back in the day?
Oh my God, you know it.
Take off your clothes.
You want to be in Chainsaw too? Topless now.
Watch me shower.
Go stand next to this potted plant. Close your eyes. I'm shocked that my boy Brett Ratner is like that. I mean, I never would have thought Brett Ratner, of all people, would, do some shady stuff like that.
Brett Ratner's like this shit right here. He's like the dude,
Oh, yeah.
bro, director. Like Steven Sommers. I could probably see some shit like that too. He's like the Dane Cook of directors.
There you go. There you go.
I like Steven Sommers a lot more than Dan Cook.
Well, I did too. I thought we were talking about Brett Ratner,
well,
Dane Cook of directors.
I'm just talking about dudes you think would like sexually harass a lot of women.
I didn't even hear that about Ratner. I didn't
Like frat guy.
Yeah.
Is that a recent thing?
And that was back in the day. He apparently forced himself on Natasha Henstridge, and that'd been the last one I would try to force myself on. I'd figure she could kick some ass, man.
Definitely.
But, yeah.
Brett Ratner, that pudgy bastard.
Yep.
It's him and Olivia Munn also.
Olivia Munn, yep.
Jesus.
She said that she went into his trailer to drop off something. I don't know, that he requested her to come drop something off, and he walked out of the bathroom holding a shrimp cocktail in one hand and himself in the other, and was feverishly going to town in front of her. In her words.
Well, shrimp is an aphrodisiac, so I can understand that.
I thought that's funny. Like he's got shrimp cocktail in one hand.
Directing a movie is very stressful, so he's probably just letting off some steam.
I'm sure that was it. Sure, it's just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, bad timing.
I don't know, man. I just think we're going to get to a point when it's going to be like a witch hunt type situation.
Too late.
Yeah.
Stretch.
I didn't realize she was wearing a ZZ Top shirt.
Have you guys ever met Carolyn Williams at like a convention or anything? Stingray?
I don't think I have.
Ah, she's very nice. Very sweet.
She seemed like she'd be nice. She didn't really go on to do much.
Yeah, she's very, very
Sadly.
nice. Yeah. Isn't it cool how I always thought it was interesting how, like, Chainsaw was 70s, hippies, you know what I mean? This one is 80s, yuppies, you know what I mean? That's cool.
Just look at those glasses.
Oh, really? This guy in his sweater.
Preppies. They're like Fred from Scooby-Doo. Just need the ascots.
The late Lou Perryman.
Yeah, when I heard that on the Dead Pitch show, that story, that was really creepy. But what happened to him?
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
fucked
very
up.
sad. Yeah, very sad. Jeez. Got his LG tattoo.
Gonna have some karma coming for these fellas in a little bit.
Oh yeah. They played chicken
Yeah.
with the wrong truck.
If I was driving that truck, I would have just demolished their ass. Like,
Just drove right through them.
seriously.
Yeah.
So are we just assuming that it's Bill Moseley driving, or
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
I can't
Really,
see
I mean, it was-
Leatherface.
No. Can't
Driving
see
a
Leatherface operating a motor vehicle. No. And of course, Drayton's out, on the Chili tour.
Definitely looks like Texas.
I've been intending to take a pilgrimage to Texas to go to the house. That it's like an eatery type place now. The house is like and like even the place where the barbecue joint, the gas station is like a big tourist attraction now too. Like they literally fix barbecue in there. You can go in there and order up some barbecue.
And I'm so pissed off. Like 2 years ago, I was at a wedding that was like 5 miles away.
Oh, really?
From where it was filmed. Yeah, the house and the gas station and everything.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I didn't realize it when I was there.
Well, even the graveyard, like that big concrete like monument that the skeleton is like attached to at the beginning of the film is still there too.
Oh wow. Yeah, they're doing like a. I know a lot of the guys from the movie showed up at the gas station for some appearances. This is like a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's becoming like a hangout type area for those guys.
But yeah, this is one I always thought made sense that he did something so different because you couldn't have be more intense than the first one, so why try?
yeah,
So,
exactly.
Like this is a difference that made sense. Unlike Rob Zombie's Halloween, differences that don't make sense. Like this makes sense.
Exactly.
We kind of touched on the fact that it came out in an era that had a lot of comedy mixed in with the horror. But even Romero did that with Dawn of the Dead. As I watched it the other day, the first one's very serious. There's pies in the face. Nobody seems to, criticize it for that. Oh, Dawn of the Dead is the greatest of all, and it is. It's great, but why does this movie get shit on for injecting comedy like that movie did? I don't know.
And there's the hitchhiker. What's left of him? Oh, Nubbins.
Nubbins.
Yeah. The longest bridge ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you realize they probably could have, if they just put on their brakes and went backwards, they probably be alive.
Well, actually, there's no way that truck can go faster in reverse than they can in drive. So they could have outran it very easily.
All right, suspension of disbelief, guys. Come on.
Yeah. It's like just put on the brakes, but no. That's you want to over the bane, it does. Still remember as a kid seeing the head cut in half.
Oh.
Extremely violent.
So I was going to say, just shoot him. Nope. Get him, Leather. That's a huge chainsaw. I think it's longer than the one in the first film.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had to. There was like at least 2 or 3 different people played Leatherface in this movie. Like there was Bill Johnson, and then there was another guy who played him quite a bit too, especially the scenes with the chainsaw because the chainsaw was so heavy.
That's a great effect.
That is a great effect.
Oh, wow. I'd like to rewind and watch it again if we weren't doing a commentary. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. Tom Savini.
And that's the only guy killed with a chainsaw in this, I believe. Throughout the rest of the movie.
Well, that's true. Well, especially since they cut out that that scene with like in the
garage thing.
In the garage, yeah. Since they cut out that garage scene, yeah. Enter Hopper.
Brazos. Where the hell is that?
And that's clearly not the same bridge that they were on.
Yeah.
But again, suspension of disbelief.
Well, it was. They were just going 2 miles an hour.
Orc asked us an Orc's Corner question not long ago about what celebrity, living or dead, would you like to have dinner with, and what would you eat or something. I don't remember who I said, but I mean, how awesome would it have been to hang out with Hopper for like an hour and just talk to him about, how much of it would he remember though, is the question, I guess. He'd be like,
hang out with Hopper, eat some pop brownies. That'll be good.
yeah, there you go.
Don't think he was a fan of the movie though.
No, yeah, I heard he was not a big fan of this movie. But
toward the end of the time he just got out of rehab.
Yeah. Yep. This was him stone cold sober.
And he may not have been, hireable at that point due to his, reputation prior to rehab. So he may not have had many choices. And this might have been getting back in the game.
Come on, you did this. You did my science project. You did nothing wrong with that.
Rolling.
But like Hoosiers was his big comeback, wasn't it?
It was like a combination of Hoosiers and Blue Velvet, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's back! He's awesome."
Man, I can't believe he was. Yep. I can't believe he was sober in the Hoosiers
or Blue Velvet. I mean,
well, that's true.
Toward the end of his career, he did a lot of. I remember they were asking him something about some movie, and he was like, why'd you do that movie? And he goes, my grandson needed a pair of shoes. You know what I mean? So, he's like, these shoes are expensive these days. You know what I mean? So,
the working actor, man, I totally get it.
Yeah.
Seemed like him and Michael Madsen, like toward the end there, were like in so many movies together. Like those kind of like, direct to DVD, like, thriller type movies. Here's Toby.
Yeah, he is.
He
threw Dr. Pepper.
Got his Dr. Pepper can.
Oh, wow.
Stogie. Yeah.
We should all have Dr. Pepper tonight. What the hell?
We should have. What was I thinking?
Even though I don't particularly like it, but I would drink it.
For Toby,
yeah. It's not one I would go to on a you know what I mean? Like, it's my go.
Right.
But
it is very popular in Texas, by the way.
I think this is the scene you mentioned, Piz, about how he would spin around.
Yeah.
And that's why he looked so tired and dazed.
Yeah.
His eyes.
His eyes like, spinning, yeah.
Yeah, I know I mentioned this before, but the whole thing that was cut out where they were father and daughter, that you find out.
Yeah.
Was that cut out because they took money away? I wonder.
Now that one I really don't know. I mean, I guess maybe they just thought it wasn't necessary, or the Golden Globus guys just didn't think it was necessary. Keep in mind, Golden Globus had no idea that this was a comedy. They thought this was a hardcore sequel to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They thought it,
Well, also on that Canon documentary, there's like another movie, like they were watching Invaders from Mars, and they thought it was Alan Quarterman Lost City of Gold they were watching or something. Like there's on that Canon documentary, they made that mistake, so it shows how little they do.
They clearly were not reading scripts. You know what I mean? They were just like, make it,
No, like they were watching the movie. Like they saw a cut of Invaders from Mars and they thought it was Alan Quarterman Lost City of Gold or something.
Yeah.
They were in the daylights there. They were in the headlights or something.
Yeah, well, and Chainsaw 2, this was made right at the point where, I mean, they were like going bankrupt. They were, they were in some serious financial straits at this point. That's why they were pulling money out of this budget. And, if I recall correctly, one of the producers tried to sue them, but they had, their business, they had, businesses set up in LA, and they had businesses set up in Israel. And, there was some shadiness going on there with those guys. And again, the rumor was they were funneling a lot of money to the Israeli army. So there's LG's Fry House.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about canon. And after they still said, let's make a Superman movie. Let's make a He-Man movie.
Right.
Let's try to make Spider-Man
Mm-hmm.
with Toby Hooper or Joseph Zito or Captain America.
I mean, this is, I don't know how you can't watch this scene and go, this is just genius. I mean, this is just a brilliant sequence. I mean, somebody sat down and wrote this, and there's there's just a genius behind this sequence.
Such a good year for movies, though, too, 86. I mean, you had Aliens, you had Big Trouble in Little China, you had so many great movies.
Oh, man, 85, 86, they're both good years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of the 80s.
Yeah, I was going to say 87 was pretty good too. We had Lost Boys and Near Dark that year. There he is.
I think this was like August of 86 they came out or something like that.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
I mean, you think of this summer where, like, what did we see? I don't know. We didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And then you think of the summer of this.
It was a bad summer, man.
I imagine the summer 86 was today. Just how many good movies after another.
Every week there was something good coming out.
Mm-hmm. Got a real good eye for prime meat.
His tooth. It's one of them peppercorns.
Oh God.
Was Motel Hell before or after this?
Before.
I think
Before, okay.
Motel Hell was what, 80, 81?
Okay.
Oh, is that right?
Because I also had like a
Neighborhood, I think,
chainsaw duel and comedic
Similar
tone.
subject matter and tone, yeah.
well, and just think, I mean, how awesome would it have been to be a horror fan from 80 to 84 every weekend there was a new slasher movie coming out. You know what I mean? So
That was pretty awesome.
there you go.
Makes me want to watch Motel Hell now.
I think that chainsaw place is now a bar, and in the back they still have the cut right chainsaw sign.
Yep, they do.
Wow.
Yep.
Because on the Blu-ray there's the Sean Clark Horrors Hallowed Grounds, and I think they even found the tree that the log that the chainsaw went through when the scene comes out.
Wow.
Like the marks of the saw still there.
He does a great job with that stuff, Sean Clark.
Yeah, he does.
Although they haven't really done one in a long time, it seems, since the Halloween ones.
It's been a while. I saw he did one on Prince of Darkness. That may be the last one I've seen.
He's out there on the road with Norman Reedus at these conventions every weekend making bukus of bucks.
Oh, okay.
That's
He's his manager or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ladies still standing in line to get that greasy bastard's autograph?
I mean, I saw like pics from some convention that they posted. I mean, it was like lines around the block to meet him. And his prices have gone way up from, just a few years ago. So,
I don't see the appeal.
I mean, I don't either, but I mean, they're making major.
I mean, he's gross. I mean, ladies like gross, greasy dudes.
I mean, that's what my girlfriend says. She's like, he's gross. He's greasy looking. He looks like he's stoned out of his gourd 24/7.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Like they did. Like there's a video where all the cast were like introducing themselves, and when they got to him, I mean, he looked like he hadn't bathed in weeks, and he was like, I'm not. He's like, I'm not. Like he sounded like he was drunk off his ass. I mean, like he couldn't even say his own name.
Jeez.
And like Andrew Lincoln was in the back, like making fun of him. I love this, going out and testing out his chainsaws.
Like you said, I mean, it makes sense. It's a comedy. He's got a gun holster that's chainsaws.
I like how he's in the store, like doing this shit. Like, I have one in each hand.
Yeah.
He's already practicing.
The guy's big one there, and then if something happens to it, he's got he can dual wield those suckers. Kimbo chainsaws.
Oh
And
man, that's
not
not how
gonna
you use a
stop it.
chainsaw.
This dude loves it.
He's like my aching bananas. Like,
That's
what the hell does that even mean? And
Man. Oh.
Oh God.
Obvious stunt double is obvious.
Very, yes. You imagine Toby being like, Dennis, do you think you could maybe hit that log a couple times with that chainsaw? Are you crazy?
I'm sober, remember? Hell no.
Yeah. You should have asked me that like 3 years ago. It's like I tore through them logs with my teeth. 3 days into a week-long crystal meth binge, you could ask me to do anything. When did and Hopper directed again and not long after this too? When did Colors come out? That was like 80. That was like mid 80s, wasn't it?
88, I think.
Okay.
I
This
think.
is just a couple of years after he was, he was back in the director's chair.
I forgot he directed Colors. Yeah, 88.
Is it 88?
I think that was the last thing he directed, wasn't it?
He did some other shorts and stuff. The Hot Spot in 90 and then Chasers in 94. I've never seen either one of those.
Chasers. Yeah, Chasers. I forgot about that.
Ugh, that looks terrible. Tom Berenger and Erica Eleniak.
Yeah.
If it's not Soldier or The Substitute, I don't want to see Tom Berenger in anything. Or Sniper, I mean.
Sniper, there you go. What about Platoon?
Yeah.
That red bandana tied around her boot. Just to remind you, this is the 80s. Oh, this is hilarious. Still got that big chili stain on his jacket.
How did this movie not do better? What the hell?
This is the kind of movie where it takes a decade or two, and then people are like, hey, that's pretty good. That will happen eventually, with a mangler. Mark my words.
He's got him a car phone.
Yeah, I wonder where he got it from.
It's like $20 a minute on those things back in the day.
Yeah.
He's got that dead customer discount.
Yeah, true.
There you go. Yeah. You've done it again. You now
Fudge packers.
You fudge back.
Oh, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah. That would not be in the movie today, that line.
Is fudge packers not a PC term?
Not
Who cares?
My mate says he's a cannibal. So it's not like he cares about
being a cannibal's
PC.
okay.
Cannibalism is okay.
Yeah.
As
A
long
woman
as it's
picked a
PC.
tooth out of chili. He called it a peppercorn. You're upset about fudge packer?
Yeah, you
Okay.
know, we're all
Selectively
pink on the
upset.
inside, right?
Jeez.
8 trucks. Damn.
Was that an 8-track?
Well, I don't know.
That looks, well,
I don't know what
Not
that
sure
is.
what that is
I
behind
just
her
see
there.
like these things. Yeah, not sure what that is. I just assume because 86, 85, maybe when they shot it, or 86.
there's 8 tracks there behind her. Yeah, there's definitely 8 tracks there behind her.
Did you ever listen to 8 Tracks B Movie, Mike?
That was more of a 70s thing, but they were
Okay.
around, and yes, I did. I actually had a friend whose uncle had an 8-track tape player in his pickup truck,
Oh, wow.
and it would change tracks in the middle of a song. It's really fucked up. Even back then, I was like, why is this viable?
So it's
Right.
not. So it's not like records where some people say the records sound better than the. That's not like that for 8 Tracks.
No, I don't
8-track
think so.
tape
No.
was probably the most horrible form of physical media I've ever experienced in my life.
There will be no 8-track renaissance like we saw with the LPs. There will be no 8-track renaissance.
Even the
So
hipsters hate that shit, so that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
There won't be
Yeah.
like VHS tapes. People collecting.
When in the late 80s, my folks bought a car that had an 8-track player in it. And we had like 8 tracks of like Journey and the Eagles and freaking the Cars, I remember. So
And my parents had a combo stereo. It had like the first cassette players, but it was like a regular cassette player that was actually like dropped into a phonograph. You could like take it out and remove it. It was like those old fashioned type, and it had 8-track and all this other crap in it. But I never was huge into the. You could get them at like the Goodwill store for a nickel.
Yeah.
If you were interested in them back at the time. But so I imagine this radio station's probably in the middle of nowhere. 1980. It's possible that they would still be running off of 8 tracks. I mean, because 86, that's not that far removed from the 8-track era. I mean, I think I bought my first cassette tape in like 82.
Okay.
So I guess it would be possible that there would be some out of the way radio station that still used that format, but even back then it was kind of archaic.
You know, typewriter is something no one uses either.
The appeal was basically just a way to bring it with you, right? Like a way to have music on the go.
Yeah, that was the first portable tape.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I had a few.
Other than that, you just had, LPs or records or whatever.
Mhm.
Kind of hard to take those with you in the car.
Yeah. I'm sure people did, though.
I'm sure they tried.
and we're about to meet Chop Top.
My absolute favorite character in the film. He steals the show.
He does. Absolutely steals this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So many
Music is my life.
questions on the character choices, but
And I like Stretch as a character. She's not this like, You know what I mean? She's like a girl next door, but she's still kind of like a tomboy. I mean,
Yeah.
she's attractive, but she's not a girly girl. I mean, so I don't think the film got credit for that. I mean, she's not the typical ditzy scream queen. You know,
That's true too. Yeah.
She's smart, and you can see that.
Yeah. She's the kind of girl who'd go out, drink a beer with you, a full beer, not a light beer. You know what I mean? And
Are you fucking crazy?
Radioactive.
And if I understand, Toby had seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that Bill Moseley did.
Yep. Well, I mean, Moseley wasn't even an actor really before this. He was like a writer, really. And so based on that, just that alone got him this gig, to be honest. I think it was maybe a last second edition because they were trying to get Ed Neal back.
Oh, really?
Yep, they're trying to get Ed Neal back, but he was asking too much money.
Huh. Did not know that. That'd be weird because they have his dead body corpse. People would think it's the same guy.
Yep, they were trying to get Gunnar Hansen back too, but again, he was asking for too much.
Which is weird because like Bill Johnson, he died and then he didn't ever want to be him because he didn't like the violence.
Oh God, he keeps eating that shit off the hanger.
With the Sonny Bono wig.
Vida da Gata, baby. Could you imagine being in his platoon with him in Nam? Good Lord.
That's a movie.
That's the movie. That's the prequel right there.
Movie.
Yeah, forget about Leatherface. That's the prequel.
Well, no.
Instead of Leatherface, they could have done Chop Top and Dirty by Uwe Boll. Or some shit. Chop Top in Vietnam.
I mean, who, again, there's like a sick genius to, okay, so he's got this plate in his head, but he digs at it with a coat hanger that he lights with a Bic lighter, and then he eats the little remnants of flesh off the end of it. You know what I mean? There's just,
It seemed that was a little bit of Toby sort of making fun of E.T. He's showing all the stuff to, the kid showed all the stuff to E.T. Even had the shark thing.
Oh, wow. I totally missed that. Yeah.
Maybe that's sort of his little F.U. to Spielberg after Poltergeist.
Maybe it was, yeah.
What year was Poltergeist? 85?
82.
82, yeah.
82, okay. So
86. So.
Well, what's good too about this Blu-ray, if you're watching the movie on the Blu-ray, the high definition, when his wig comes off, like you can see like around the plate, there's like all this. It looks like just like infection and pus and nasty yellow runny stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh man,
probably why it itches. I don't think he's going.
He's taking off the skin
with a red hot piece of metal isn't going to make it heal, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because he's hungry. He keeps wanting to eat the skin. That's why he keeps scratching it. Because it feels good. He wants that bit of skin to eat. Can't eat anyone else. I'll eat myself.
Yeah. A little snack,
Oh, God damn, it grosses me out.
But, I mean, if you want to talk about jump scare, this is an effective jump scare.
Yes.
Like, jump scare done right, not just fucking a lot of stuff they do nowadays.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, exactly. It's got a good build up to it.
It's definitely don't see it coming.
And Moseley still has all this garb, that including the teeth. He still has all that.
Oh, man. Not me. Is that maybe a callback to the door in the first
Yeah.
film?
Yeah, but,
I would think it would have to be. I don't know if radio stations have those kind of doors, but
Yeah, exactly.
It'd have to be a callback to that.
that is
The Sony Bono
non-flashbacks.
wig.
See, look at that nastiness around the wound.
Oh, that thing probably had skin on it at one time. He just ate it all.
Yeah.
Dog will hunt.
There's just so many great one-liners and stuff too. But I mean, could you imagine if if they got like somebody who wasn't a very good actor or wasn't as like on as Mosley was to play this? I mean, to play Chop Top, it just wouldn't. It just wouldn't have worked, you know.
Yeah.
Mike, did you happen to see Chainsaw 2 in the theater when it came out?
Yeah, actually, I did. I don't
Oh.
remember much about the theater experience, but I don't think I was quite sober enough to remember. But definitely a good time. I enjoyed it. That opening sequence with the yuppies and the car phone and the head wound was, that's something you don't forget. That was pretty awesome. And of course, Chop Top.
Oh, of course, of course.
Well, when you first saw it, were you taken aback by how more comedic it was, or how like Leatherface is a bit more love struck, and were you taken aback, or did you go along with it and be like, okay, that's cool, it's a sequel? Because I know some people were mad about
No,
stuff like that.
it didn't really bother me. It wasn't like it was a movie that didn't have Leatherface, right?
Right.
It didn't have a fake Leatherface. It had a version of Leatherface, which was different, but it didn't bother me. And the entertainment value of it was just so batshit crazy that it was hard not to love. And
Right.
and really, I thought it captured some of the craziness of the first film, like some of the family moments that I talked about last week, where look what your brother did to the door, It was definitely like that, but for the whole movie. So I don't know, I enjoyed it. Coming mail.
Was it psychedelics you were on when you watched this, Mike?
I don't remember.
Because I can't imagine watching this on any mind-altering.
That wouldn't be a good choice.
You walk out of the theater going, "I'm Chop Top."
Coming up, this is a scene I always remember from The Burbs, because Tom Hanks watches this scene when he's flipping through channels.
That's a good. That needs to be a commentary at one point. Is The Burbs? It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
I watched it the other day.
Oh, cool.
It's a good one.
I still need to get the Arrow video Blu-ray.
Yeah, I've got the Arrow Blu-ray. I bought it. I've just not watched it.
I was watching that movie and I was like, she's dead, he's dead, he's dead, he's dead. Like, man,
Yeah. Like Bruce Stern, of course, Carrie Fisher. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
the oh shit, I can't think of his name, but the Canadian fellow.
Rick Duperman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I want to kill everyone. Satan is good. Satan's
Satan
the
is my friend.
Although he's mocking the dude as he's smacking him with the hammer.
Incoming mail.
I don't know if y'all saw the drinks in that container there. There's Big Red. Have you guys ever heard of Big Red?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
time in Texas. I love that stuff.
Is that the one that tastes like bubble gum, or is that another Big
Kind
Red?
of.
You know,
Like a
it does.
cinnamon thing.
Okay.
I think it tastes like bubble gum. Yeah.
No Dr. Pepper.
No.
He likes Dr. Pepper. Good mask they have for the Leatherface too. Tons of 80s food.
Yeah, yeah. And you could really make it out a lot of the detail in it in the HD that was kind of lost on the VHS, I thought. I mean, it's like a just different, literally, faces
Yeah.
stitched together.
What would be your guys' favorite mask from all of them?
All right. I'd say the Butcher mask from the first movie. This joint right here.
I
That's my
gotcha.
I like
Yeah.
the Pretty Woman mask from the first film.
Yeah, Pretty Woman one's good too. Yeah. The one in part 3 is not bad too. It looks really good. Oh, really?
Really?
I mean, all of them look good. I don't, the next generation one looks pretty bad, but
I don't even remember.
it looks pretty bad.
They managed to screw up the one thing they could actually do better.
See, this is like the teenage Leatherface. He's having, he's like, he wants to kill her, but he's having these changes.
I was thinking about poking you with my chainsaw, but now I have other thoughts.
He's like, you look good, all soaked in Big Red, honey.
Mhm.
He needs some chapstick bad.
Man, this was released today. This PC plays.
That's not advertiser friendly right there, folks.
No, that's not advertiser friendly at all.
Such an odd choice for her to
Damn it! I
act
think
like
that
this.
reminds me of that freaking movie, or that song "Jizz in My Pants."
Oh
Long
no!
Island.
She said, "Oh no," too. He's like so sexually
I want to kill
frustrated.
you, but I have a boner. I'm so confused.
I don't know what to do with it. I love his little. He holds it up and ticks around like that. It's so funny.
That was one complaint. Somebody said that was a dance he did like at the end of the film when Sally got away, the original, but he does it too much in this movie or something. It doesn't bother me.
I don't even remember him doing it in the first film.
Well, just at the end, the chainsaw dance.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really like that. It was more like really swinging with his arms, like he's a whirlwind.
This is like he's boogieing down and then he's ready to kill somebody.
Of course, they didn't refer to him as. Did they? No, I don't think they called him Leatherface in the movie. None of the family did they? Did they call him Leatherface? I think they just call him Bubba. I don't remember. And guys, many times I've seen that movie, you'd think I'd remember that, but I don't know.
His emotions just change on a dime.
Yeah.
He's angry and he's like,
He's credited as Leatherface.
Well, wasn't like the original film supposed to be called Leatherface?
Yeah, at one point it was titled Leatherface. I think the original title was maybe. Well, either the original title was either Head Cheese or Leatherface, but then it went through it was Head Cheese and Leatherface at one point, and then yeah.
The title of that movie, I think, is probably more scary than the movie itself to a lot of people. It's perfect title.
Yeah. Such an evocative and provocative title, really. Yeah. Something about those three words, you put them together, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It just conjures up all sorts of imagery.
No, he's not late.
No, this was orchestrated. It was all orchestrated by the Lord of the Harvest. Should have went into the gun shop and loaded up.
I mean, it was pretty convenient. So yeah, run down the stairs. Oh, gun shop. That's right. Nice window. There you go.
Considering the title, you realize he doesn't really kill a lot with the chainsaw. He probably kills like one in the first one in this one, maybe one in the third one.
Maybe that's true. Yeah. Because I mean, really, the only person I can recall him killing in the first one with the chainsaw was Franklin
in the wheelchair.
Because like he saws up the one guy, but that's after he's already knocked him out with the hammer. Probably killed him with the hammer.
The other with the meat hook, and two people with the hammer.
Yep.
I love that poster, man. That's what should be the Blu-ray poster.
Which one?
It's like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah. That's
that tells you what you're getting yourself into.
Oh yeah. The reverse of the sleeve of the Scream Factory Blu-ray is that original. Yeah.
Generic Platinum Dunes bullshit. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. I don't think that was the movie poster. I think that might have just been for the VHS, because the movie poster seems like there was, or it might have been. Seems like one movie poster was just Leatherface sawing through a door. I mean, I don't know if that was how they sold the movie that way. They probably thought, no, we can't. People think they're going to watch The Breakfast Club.
It was definitely the VHS box.
Oh yeah.
You think Dennis Howard wouldn't want to scare her like that, but just poke your head out and yell.
Looks like an old greenhouse she's in.
I had to do it. Damn, I used you, girl. I'm here now. Grab hold of this. Grab hold of this now. Don't you cry, little sister. I'm here. Come on, I'm here now. You get it. Come on now. You got it. Come on. Come on.
Whoops.
Yep, that was no stick.
And this is where Rob Zombie stole the whole House of a Thousand Corpses ending.
Yeah.
Even the William Forsythe and Devil's Reaches he kind of stole from Dennis Hopper in this movie. Sort of crazed lawman coming after the family.
Yeah.
Now they have Steven Dorff in the new one doing the same thing.
Yeah. Have you seen the new one, Rambo?
No.
Okay.
So, like, really, no one's talked about the movie, like, good or bad. It's kind of just, it's almost like forgotten already.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it wasn't. I can't say. I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't really bad. It just kind of, it's just
Meh.
kind of unnecessary.
Are you telling me a straight to DirecTV release doesn't get you excited? You don't have high hopes for a film like that?
Direct to DirecTV.
I forgot that was it.
Oh man, I still need to watch that damn Amityville Horror before it goes off.
Oh, yeah.
Google Play.
You're not going. You're not going to
Jason
miss
Lee
much.
joint.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it's not very good.
It's not good.
Yeah, I did a review of it. You can understand pretty early on why it took so long to come out.
Does Bella Thorne at least get naked in it?
No, I think it's a pretty hard PG-13,
Oh, awesome.
or I should say a pretty soft PG-13 actually.
Yeah.
Is it true they reference the original movie?
Yeah,
Like they actually
Yeah.
show the original movie in that
Yeah.
Amityville?
yeah. A couple of her friends come over at the house at night, and one of the guys, he brings Amityville 1, Amityville 2, and the Amityville remake, and they kind of go, oh, but the remake sucks. So I mean,
I agree with him.
No
like
3D.
Like at one point when she goes, like she meets this guy at school and he's like, you live in the Amityville house. And like the next day he brings her the DVD, like, you need to study this,
Study this DVD.
It's kind of like when the Frog Brothers give Corey Haim that, Vampires Everywhere comic in the Lost Boys. A lot of guts. Yeah. Now I had a friend of mine in high school told me that when he saw that part with all the guts coming out of the wall that he threw up.
Wow.
Down the hell.
I don't believe he was sober, man. I can't believe it.
And this is what he spends the rest of the movie doing.
Yeah.
Which doesn't really accomplish anything. Just by the end, it's kind of still standing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's pretty true. Yeah, yeah. The grenade, I think, takes care of a lot of it, but yeah.
It's like he spends the rest of the time doing this, but then at the end, the place is still up.
Yeah.
Until that grenade, so
it's the grenade that they keep in Nubbin's pocket.
Yeah.
Nubbins.
And that's pretty nasty. Just, gnarly limbs hanging there drying out.
Great set designer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The whole underground labyrinth thing is just really well done.
Yeah.
I wonder exactly how the budget cuts affected the movie.
Like what they would have done if they had it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, Toby Hooper's no stranger to using a low budget.
Yeah.
But,
Well, the other writer passed away too, right? The Kit Carson.
Kit Carson, yeah. He passed away. Yeah.
You can't ask anyone. Damn.
I know there was an interview with him, a really, really good interview that's on the DVD and on the Blu-ray. And I think I mentioned this on our Toby Hooper show last week that, he was writing a scene and fell asleep in the chair while he was writing the scene. And like somebody woke him up and they were like, you don't have to finish writing that. We just shot it. So, I mean, a lot of this had to just be kind of like fly by the seat of your pants filmmaking.
Even the stuff they cut out, like the garage scene and the Joe Bob Bridge scene.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was for pacing or if they just didn't finish.
It seems if I recall correctly, it seemed kind of like that the garage scene just didn't look very good. Like the effects weren't very. I mean, I guess they could have edited around it to make it look a little better, but I don't know. I think it was probably just a pacing thing, but it kind of struck me that stuff didn't really look that good.
I haven't seen any of the cut scenes.
And yeah, Tom Savini was teen at this time.
Oh yeah,
Well before he. Are you guys trying to sad that he retired, or it's understandable he retired?
I think he actually went out. I mean, he retired at a good time. You know what I mean? Like he was. You know, they just don't do all those guys. They've all kind of retired. They're in like some form of semi-retirement. They work a little bit here, a little bit there, but they just, there's no regular work. You know what I mean?
Kurtzman, he's basically a director now, producer.
That's what Savini said to me one time. He said that there just wasn't enough money to keep going to makeup. He was constantly having to take money out of his own pocket because he didn't want the effect to look bad, but they wouldn't give him enough money to do it right. And he said it was just so much easier being an actor. You get a room, you're pampered, they call you, you go do your scene, you come back, and he said it's just so much easier not to have to deal with the scheduling and all the crap. And and it also got to be where K&B got so big that they were just the go-to. They had all these facilities and all these extra people, and he'd been doing it for a long time and decided he'd rather just be behind the camera directing or in front of the camera acting.
Well, and all those guys had studios, like they had their own big, thing, Steve Johnson, the K&B guys. There were just a ton of them in the 80s, you know what I mean? And they were all getting regular work, and then it just kind of dried up.
Well, like Romero, somebody asked him, why didn't you have Savini do the effects for Land of the Dead? And he said, well, the movie studio wanted somebody they could sue. They wanted an entity. So that's why they went with K&B. Wow. They didn't want to go with an individual.
Nope.
Well, I mean, Savini's still got his effects school and stuff going, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's.
I'm trying to think, what did Savini do after this, effects wise? I mean, I know he went into directing, Night Living Dead, but.
Well, I think I think Day of the Dead kind of like his swan song? I mean, wasn't that the movie?
That was 85, right?
Oh, was it? Okay. See, I always kind of thought that like Day of the Dead was like him going, okay, now I'm done. But I mean, of course, he did this. This was 86.
What year was? I guess 84 was the final chapter.
Yeah.
That's got some great effects in it too.
Yeah.
This
probably most left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah. I mean, this may have been like the last big gig he did. I don't know. Check and see.
That's a good question.
Put on the face of your friend and I'll get you out of here.
We'll just walk you right through the door.
They'll never notice.
Yeah, for those out there watching, when this came out in 86, it debuted at number 5 with 2.8 million. It was beat by Top Gun, Alien, Stand By Me, and The Fly. It was number 1.
Some pretty big contenders.
Yeah. Good summer, good year.
Let's see. He did Trauma, Dario Argento's Trauma in 93. That was a pretty big one. He did a bunch of stuff after, but I mean, nothing really on that big level.
Really, it was by the time the vampire movie with Quentin Tarantino. Dusk Till Dawn. It was around that time that he just made the transition to stop doing
96.
effects on a full-time basis.
Yeah, Two Evil Eyes was in 90.
He's apparently got 2 directing projects in the works: Nightmare City and Death Island.
Because I think by this time he had directed an episode, and it seemed like he really wanted to be a director, and like he was going to direct Graveyard Shift, then that fell through, and then he directed, of course, Night of the Living Dead. Well, maybe it might have hurt the film is maybe they couldn't do much for advertising since this was unrated. Maybe no one knew it was even out.
That'd be fucked up to wake up and see somebody wearing your face.
Yeah,
What the hell?
that'd be weird. What are your guys' thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3?
It's okay. It's okay, but it's sort of a tamer version of the first movie because of all the stuff that happened behind the scenes, where Bob Shea cut a bunch of shit out, and then after that, MPA cut a bunch of shit out.
Yeah,
And then Ken Foree gets his head cut off, but then he's back with a Band-Aid on his
literally a
head.
Band-Aid. Yeah. Literally a Band-Aid. Yeah.
And I like Ken Foree's character, but it's like just reshoot the scene, or make him have a fucking steel plate like Chop Top, or give us something. All he does head cut with a chainsaw. There's a Band-Aid. Reshoot the scene then or something. But Jeff Burr seems like a nice guy, and it seems like he got fucked around a lot during that.
Yeah, I met him once. He was a really, really nice guy.
Seems like a very down to earth, humble.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his. I wish I liked that movie more than I do. It just doesn't. I feel like the pacing's off or something. And it's just not an easy watch for me.
Well, and a lot of that I think is probably due to the fact that it was cut so harshly. But even like the unrated cut is not even. It's not like
this.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like the director's cut of the movie or anything.
Right. Because even that footage, I think, was just disappeared because of Bob Shea's ass or something. Like,
but yeah, I mean, they brought the guy in, it's like, okay, he had like a weekend prep. Like they hired him on Friday and he's shooting on Monday. And they've already done locations, they've already built sets. You know what I mean? They've already cast the movie. I mean, literally.
I would say after this, the third one and the remake are the only two I can watch. The rest of them, not so much. Chainsaw.
I can watch The Next Generation for purely because it's just so McConaughey. Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
I love Matthew McConaughey.
Like it would be cool to watch that movie with McConaughey, or like have a McConaughey commentary over that movie. You know what I mean?
I don't think he forget what it was even about again. There's like some Conan or some late night show where they had that movie, and he said it was part 3. It's just a Chainsaw Massacre 3. Like, he forgot it was part 4, so I was like, he didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he had no idea. Yeah.
I think they made that movie and it sat on the shelf for a couple of years.
It did. Yep. It sat on the shelf for a couple of years until McConaughey and Zellweger started to have careers, and then all of a sudden it comes out. And it's actually the Next Generation is an edited version. Like the first version was called Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I don't know what's really different about it, but the Next Generation, they went in and they re-edited it.
Yeah. Well, and the cover art is McConaughey's face on one side, Zellweger's face on the other.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. It's one some friends and I like to watch a lot. Just because it is. I mean, it's stupid, cheesy fun. Like the whole thing with his leg being remote controlled. And,
yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. That one you gotta. I mean, you gotta like what was going on in their head writing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like. They're not even cannibals. They're eating pizza in the movie. You know what I mean? Leatherface is like such a wuss in that movie too. You know what I mean?
I love it.
Such a pussy.
He's a full on cross dresser, like transvestite. Also,
yes, exactly. Yes, yeah.
But I mean, would you rather that, or would you rather like the remake, just rehashing the exact same stuff you've already seen before?
I don't mind the remake. The beginning, I don't care for. But now the remake, the remake I can kind of watch. The first time I saw it in the theater, I was like, "Oh my God, this is." I mean, I went into that fully expecting to hate it, and I was pretty pleasantly surprised.
Well, even the fourth one is kind of a remake of the first one because you have the person put on a meat hook. You have the instead of a truck, it's a plane that hits the hitchhiker.
I think that one was almost marketed kind of like a remake, actually.
Yeah,
I can remember seeing it like a trailer for it in the beginning of some video I rented a million years ago, and thinking like this kind of almost looks like a remake.
Yeah, and instead of like a truck driver, it's like a guy in a Winnebago that saves her or something.
Yeah, well, and I remember thinking like, oh my God, if they got Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey in this, it must be really good. I had no idea like it was made 10 years ago.
Guy with piercings.
But I did have hope in it because I was like, oh well, Kim Hinkle, he co-wrote the first one.
Yeah, it's got to be good.
He was off his fucking rocker with that. It's cool if people like it. I can watch Matt McConaughey, but kind of like how you said about part 3, Jay. That's how I feel part 4. It's hard for me to sit through that one.
It's following part 3 though. I mean, part 3 is not that good in my opinion, and I don't know. It just seems like it's already kind of a burned out project. They've already stopped taking it seriously. Like even at this point.
Yeah. Jerp Pin wants to know whatever happened to Eazy-E. That's a good question. That's a very good question.
He got fired.
Oh, you know what? We totally forgot about the Cartoon Man 13 brings up Texas Chainsaw 3D. I totally forgot that movie even existed.
Oh, yeah. I do like the final girl in 3D.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Daddario. Alexandria Daddario.
Exactly. Yeah.
She's worth the price of admission.
No.
Indy Phantom's watching along with us. How you doing, Indy Phantom? Indy Phantom says, thanks for being awesome. Well, thank you, sir. Omni Shredder says nothing is worse than Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Yes. It's hard to argue that.
Do your thing, cuz. I forgot about that line. Yeah.
I forgot that movie. They're good guys. We feel sorry for the cannibals. Damn them lynch mobs.
Oh, there's
Franklin.
There's Franklin, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
In the wheelchair.
There he is.
Because I think he's like the uncle.
Yeah, he's the uncle of him. Yeah.
That's right.
Don't you cry, my brother. I'm here.
I'm here now. They can't do this. Let's do this.
It's like he's filming his own separate movie. Just go
Yeah,
over there and saw
yeah.
all these random boards and run off stream.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one thing that I regret about this. I do wish Hopper got to do more than just sort of being this cutting boards. Just I do wish he'd have to do more with the like Donald Pleasance's Halloween 2. Like just got to do a bit more
There you
against
go,
the
yeah.
family.
Yeah. Stingray, I recommend this moonshine. If you can get you some, get you some.
We'll check it out.
Old Smoky Tennessee moonshine, son.
Yeah. William Forsythe's totally ripping off Dennis Hopper in this movie. I never put that together.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Devil's Rejects here. But yeah, this set design is just insane.
Yeah, they did an awesome job. Awesome job. They said it was like so freaking hot in there because it was like an old printing press or something.
I can
like,
imagine.
No ventilation, and then they had like all these lights and everything. Yeah, they said it was very, very
Very artistic. These cannibals.
Toby Hooper always tries to make his sets like as uncomfortable as possible. I want these actors to be miserable.
Yeah.
Worked well for him.
It worked. It worked in Chainsaw 2 for sure.
Rob Zombie stole a shitload from this movie. Just in this entire ending is House of a Thousand Corpses,
Yep.
for fuck's sake.
Yes, without Toby Hooper, there would be no Rob Zombie. Filmmaker, anyway. Maybe even musician.
I guess I should ask, does anyone like A House of a Thousand Corpses? I don't mean to put it down. If people
Yeah,
like it.
I like House of a Thousand Corpses. It's been a long
Wasn't for
time
me.
since I saw it, but
It
I
does
liked
this.
it.
It does this thing way too often where it goes like to the negative image.
Yeah.
Where
Oh, okay.
that bothers me. Other than that, it's okay. But it
I
keeps
actually-
switching that image thing, and after a while, at first it's like, oh, well, that's kind of neat, but then it's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah. I actually got the Umbrella Entertainment released a new Blu-ray of The Devil's Rejects. I'm kind of looking forward to going back and revisiting it. Like an
Did I
actual
hear rumblings of maybe
Rob Zombie movie.
a sequel to the? Devil's
Yeah,
Rejects?
was it? Yeah, like somebody was saying that the other day. Like, I was in a game of Friday the 13th, the game the other day, and somebody was like, "Did you guys hear they're doing a sequel?" I was like, well, "They're all dead."
Or
That
are
did. It was called Halloween.
Unless it's a sequel that's actually a prequel, like the new Saw movie.
Enough for these fucking prequels. Tired of prequels.
Really? Yes, please. Yes. Well, is that going to be the next trend? Is everything's going to be prequeled now? We need like a Jaws prequel and like a
Thousands of dollars lost. You got that kind of money?
It's Jim Cito's outfit's almost like the Ghostbusters outfit.
Yeah.
He's working that corpse like a puppet. That's hilarious.
Bo's got girlfriend.
But Mosley does a really good job of this movie from going like he's goofy, silly now to being like, intimidating and like, you know what I mean? Ominous, especially toward the end when he's like lashing her up with that straight razor and, he's like cutting his own throat. He did a really good job. Now, did you guys hear that? Like, I think it was Toby and Kim Hinkle. They did their own Chainsaw 3 idea, where instead of there being a family of Sawyers, there was an entire town of Sawyers, or like
Oh,
a town of people who've realized, like, hey, eating people is pretty good.
I vaguely heard that, but
Yeah,
It was like his original idea for the sequel, The Town of Cannibals.
yeah.
I didn't know Toby Hooper was. I figured he was done after this. I didn't know he was thoughts of a third one.
Well, he wasn't originally supposed to direct this one, but the budget was so low that he was the only one that would do it for the money.
Yeah. Well, and just think, Toby Hooper was going to direct Return of the Living Dead. Could you imagine? I mean, and how much of a boost would that have been for his career too? If he had, I think he was wrapped up with spontaneous combustion at the time or something. You know what I mean? So
I think that's why James Cameron's in the cast, because he had worked with them and cast James Cameron.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Like all the early promotional materials, written by Dan O'Bannon, directed by Toby Hooper, Return of the Living Dead, I've always thought, and I want to get you guys' opinion. Grandpa in this movie looks like Jeff Daniels.
Okay.
Take a peek at Grandpa here, and does that not look like Jeff Daniels a little bit? $137 years old.
Crazy set.
They really did go bigger with the dinner sequence.
Yes.
Dr. Strange Love Bomb,
Yeah.
cowboy hat. That's sort of the sad thing. When Toby passed, finally you had people like admitting they were fans of movies like this.
Yeah.
It's like
Jeff Daniels.
You strict liquid diet keeps them fresh as a rose.
So they're blaming all of this on like an air-powered hammer.
They were mechanized out of business. Yep. They were mechanized out of business.
Jim Cedo has the Pee Wee Herman bow tie.
So now we kill people.
We gotta eat, man. They gotta eat.
It's the obvious transition. I mean, how can you blame them?
And
What I love about Jim Cedow in the first movie is that he almost comes off as being normal until he kind of loses that grip, you know what I mean? And then like he's like the sickest one of them all, kind of really, I think.
That's when you realize he's the ringleader. It's like, oh,
Exactly. Yeah. Like when he's poking Sally with that broomstick in the truck and he's like, it's all right now, honey. It's all you know. He's trying to console her and torment her at the same time. And even here he's like trying to, it's like he's gonna kill you, but it won't hurt none. He's the best killer there ever was. I'm telling you that is Jeff Daniels.
He's not credited.
I don't know, lady. If you slip Leatherface some tongue at this moment, he might cut you loose. I mean, what's the alternative?
She could have got Leatherface on her side and been like, look, if you kill these two freaks, me and you can live in this labyrinth of death, all just the two of us, Leatherface might have done it.
So the guy that played Grandpa died in 2008.
Jeff Daniels is dead. May rest, R.I.P. him and Peter Weller.
R.I.P. Looks like a Basset-hound. His face is so saggy.
Yeah. He needs to visit a dermatologist.
I almost feel bad for Grandpa at this point.
Yeah.
When you just can't kill somebody and you have to lose your independence.
Right. This is a great shot here, how it just tracks in right on his face. Up close and personal. His eyes. Oh,
That is some great makeup.
that is, yeah.
Oh,
And he gets it. He got it. It's like riding a bike. Could you imagine though working in a slaughterhouse like those years ago when they would literally kill the cows with like a sledgehammer to the head? Like they'd bring them up to the guy who sledged them. I mean, my goodness, that would be like not killing the animal so much, because I mean you'd probably get used to that, but just swinging that sledge all day. You know what I mean?
I had an uncle that did that stuff. I don't remember how he did it though.
But you always had fresh meat though.
Always.
we were raised in meat.
There's a slaughterhouse. There's a slaughterhouse not far from here, and every now and again we'll go in and we'll buy a cow. And I tell you, man, that is the best meat. No kidding. That's the best.
There's nothing like the smell of a slaughterhouse.
That's like the best steak you'll ever eat, man. The best steak you'll ever eat. Like sometimes they'll let you go out in the field and pick which cow you want. I always go pick the one that's got the most soulful eyes. I'm like, that one. There's probably somebody somewhere. Somebody somewhere's like, oh my God, is that real? Did he really do that? This is Kentucky, baby. We're all about good meat here in Kentucky.
The Kentucky Fried Massacre.
There you go. guy dresses up like Colonel Sanders.
Norm Macdonald is Colonel Sanders.
There you go. Puts the meat in the chicken. You know, the chicken.
That's what we health food bunch.
Do we help food bunch? That's one way to get rid of them hymns.
Man.
He tore that ass up.
Get him, Beppo.
A chainsaw duel.
Once again, with the very noticeable stunt double.
Double, yeah.
Clearly, it's a double. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
not even
god.
close. I'm sure somebody on the set was like, "Toby, don't you think they'll notice that that's the stunt double?" Yeah, who cares? They're going to be looking at the chainsaws.
Yeah, it was like they kept the camera on him, like they were convinced he looked exactly like Dennis Hopper. Nobody will notice. It's uncanny how much he looks like him. No, he doesn't.
Well, with quality of VHS, you probably that's probably makes
true,
sense.
too. That's true too. Yeah,
They got away with a lot of stuff back then.
they did. Yeah. High def has revealed a lot of the tricks of the trade.
Not many chainsaw duels. We'll
What's
tell how
funny?
in this.
What's funny is that a lot of HD movies have shown just how many movies were shot out of focus. I think of the Madman Blu-ray. Half that movie is out of focus. You never noticed it until the Blu-ray.
Is that like some Reaganomics they're talking about there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It took care of the hymns, though. Notice he's holding a wad of money in his hand while he's talking too.
Oh yeah, that was the money he was going to pay. Dennis Hopper's character. That's right.
It's at Reaganomics.
Where's that old fuck you, Charlie?
That's a cool shot. KFM hashtag Kentucky Fried Massacre.
It always makes me think of the movie The Willies. Did you ever see that movie?
It sounds very familiar. Yes.
But it's an anthology, and there's one of the clips where it's like a Kentucky Fried Chicken type restaurant, and it's a rat, a deep fried rat. The woman bites into.
That sounds really familiar. I'm sure I've seen that. Yeah. You were talking about Jeff Burr earlier, Stingray. What was the anthology he did with Vincent Price?
Um,
From a Whisper to a Scream?
yeah, that's it. It has a few different names, but that's one of them.
Okay.
The Offspring, I believe, is the other one.
Offspring, that's right. Yeah. You said that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I like it quite a bit.
I know I got a Blu-ray not long ago. Pretty good Blu-ray?
Yeah, tons of special features, yeah.
Nice.
Scream Factory, I believe.
Oh, okay, cool.
Always do good stuff.
Nice try, Grandpa.
Yeah. Close, Grandpa. There's Grandma.
Is this the only time they've had a grandma in the series?
She was in the
I
first
think
one.
so.
Oh,
She was in the
okay.
first one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
It's like death eating a cracker.
Yikes.
Can you believe that Bill Moseley, after this movie, didn't get work for years?
Oh, man.
Just tell y'all, no way on earth that thing would ever start. Just hit him with it.
Do something.
Are you guys all aware of the All-American Massacre, which was supposed to be the direct sequel to Chainsaw 2, directed by William Hooper, Toby Hooper's son? Have you guys heard that?
First time I've heard of it.
Yeah.
When
You
was
can
this?
you can find the trailer on YouTube. It was about Chop Top. Chop Top's been in prison, and like they're interviewing him, and he's talking about the family exploits after the events of part 2 that led to him being imprisoned, and Leatherface and being on the run and stuff like that. He made like he made the trailer in order to get it financed, and it just never got financed.
Huh.
But you can find the trailer on YouTube, and there's even some interviews with Bill Moseley on YouTube, like on the set of the movie and stuff. So, but yeah, it just never happened.
When did you do this?
It was, gosh, this was years ago.
Hmm.
Years ago. Yeah, tons and tons. Yeah, just long time ago.
You know what kind of movie this is when it ends with strange things happen.
Exactly.
That's the words.
Perfect end credit song. Strange Things Happen.
Stuart Copeland. And those words say all strange things happen.
Oh, let's see. Goodness gracious. What's going on out in the chat? Cole's like, which one of you are breathing on your mic? I don't know.
I can't hear it, so it must be me.
Let's see. Thoughts on Texas Chainsaw 2?
It's a great sequel. I think it was the right choice for him to. Just because it's different doesn't automatically mean it's good, but I think this is a good kind of difference. There are many cases of bad kind of difference. This one, the first one, you can't get scarier than the first one. I don't see how you could, and by all the ones they made, it shows you couldn't. So it was the 80s. Gore made sense with the Friday the 13th, all those successful movies. To make a more violent film or make a more crazy film, I wouldn't be surprised if he did see films like Motel Hell and said, let's go over the top and crazy and good new characters. Chop Top, the cast works well. Dennis Hopper's a lot of fun. Brad, I would like to have seen him do more in the second half, but they probably only had him for a certain amount of time, so that's probably why. Only a certain schedule.
Yeah.
But this Hopper, this is my favorite character he's played, honestly. He's just I can't think of another character that I like him more than this. The store. Well, I didn't mention that weird psycho almost store. I think it's a well done, fun movie. Yeah, I think it's the last great Chainsaw movie for me. It's a sequel that made sense as to why they made it. It made sense. It flopped, but a lot of good movies have flopped, so it's a good movie.
Just makes you think, what if? Because, what if they had marketed it right? What if it wasn't up against such a monster box office? All those films that Rambo listed earlier that, were opening the same weekend, which is why it was number 5.
Yeah, Aliens, The Fly, Top Gun, Stand By Me.
Those are all
Kind of
great.
suffered the same fate as The Thing.
Yeah. It's kind of underappreciated.
Yeah.
This is such a good film.
Let's see what's going on in the chat. Jerpin says classic. DJ Capone TX says excellent commentary, very underrated film. Much love from Texas. Thank you, sir. The Horror Reel says Chainsaw 2 is awesome. Movie Man 95 says great movie. Josh O'Brien says underrated classic for sure. Stone Gassman says great sequel, hilarious lines, great performances by Hopper, Williams, and Mosley. Strange things happen indeed. Jerp Pin says hashtag Rambo for president. So there you go, Rambo.
I can't do worse.
The Cartoon Man 13 says TCM2 equals awesome sequel. I agree. So yeah. I guess that's it for our Chainsaw 2 live commentary, concluding our 2-week Toby Hooper tribute. Let's see what's going on in the Stingray Spotlight this week. What you got for us in the Spotlight, Stingray?
You always put me on the spotlight. And I got nothing. Don't watch Jigsaw or The Snowman. I can say that.
Did you see Snowman?
Yeah.
Is it as bad as people make out to be?
It's worse than Jigsaw. If you have a choice, go see Jigsaw.
Wow. Yeah, I think we may have talked about that last week, but like the directors even said, like the movie's not finished.
Not finished at all, right?
The strangest thing is that they filmed it over in Sweden or wherever, and it's completely in English, like 100%. Like all the actors speak English, like normal English. Like no one even makes an attempt to have an accent. It's just kind of weird. They were using some sort of tax, some sort of a cost cut they got for filming there, which was the only reason they did it there. But I just don't know why they chose to go that route with it. It's like, Americans, they can't read subtitles at all under any circumstances. So,
Goodness, yeah. Well, guys, thanks for joining me tonight to watch and discuss Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Thanks for everybody who kept the chat nice and lively. We definitely appreciate it. Rest in peace, Toby Hooper. If you guys did not see our retrospective last week where we talked about his filmography, please go back, watch that video. I think we highlighted a lot of really good Toby Hooper movies that deserve to be seen. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, of course, being, I think, right at the top of that list, if not at the top of the list. But we will return next week with another show. So tune in next Thursday live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Sausage Factory YouTube channel. We'll see you guys then. Have a great week. Take care. Peace.